Donald Trump's own lawyer, Alina Abba, seemed to accidentally prove that Donald Trump is a coward. Well, this is just a funny, let's have a giggle sort of story. As I'm sure you all know, Donald Trump is currently in the middle of a civil fraud trial in New York in relation to what a judge has already determined was fraud committed by Trump and his organization. And so now damages are being decided on. And one of Trump's attorneys, Alina Abba, defiantly declared that Trump is not a coward, and thus he will appear to testify on Monday today. He will not cower. He will show up and give them whatever the hell they want. So brave, right? Well, as Midas Touch reports, then we'll watch the clip. In an all caps rant, Donald Trump announced Sunday on his social media website that he will not appear in court Monday to testify in the New York civil fraud case brought by Attorney General Letitia James. Trump's two-part post reiterated numerous lies already spread by Donald Trump about the prosecution, falsely claiming that the charges were Biden directed and repeating the same failed defenses that have already been shot down by Judge Arthur Engoron. So that being said, here is Alina Abba last week.
He is so firmly against what is happening in this court and so firmly for the old America that we know, not this America, that he will take that stand on Monday. He will open himself up to whatever they want because he's not afraid. People that are afraid cower. President Trump doesn't cower. We'll be back on Monday.
I mean, that's just funny. Come on. If you're going to say he doesn't cower, so he'll testify on Monday that he announces he's not testifying, you kind of accidentally called him a coward. Now, I don't have the energy to read all of his rants on Truth Social, but for our video viewers, I'll give you a sense of what they looked like up on screen next to me. Just a total meltdown over the civil fraud trial, an all caps explosion, the likes of which you've never seen before. All of his normal things, the real frauds on the part of the court. Letitia James is horrible in all those different ways, and it's all coordinated by Biden, blah, 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 blah. Which, who thinks that makes any sense? I just can't get my mind around how you kind of connect all those dots. This guy who the right wing says doesn't know where he is, Biden. He's just completely clueless. He's also implementing the largest conspiracy in American history to weaponize prosecutors, judges, courts, grand juries, all against Trump. Every jurisdiction Biden somehow controlling, but also he doesn't know where he is and he can't talk. Something's off about that. Here was Alina Abba after it became sort of unclear if Trump would show up, changing her tune a little bit and delivering quite the word salad.
The former president from this testimony. Can you tell us now whether or not he will definitely testify on Monday, Alina?
Yeah, let me be very clear. I discouraged the former president from getting on a stand with a gag order. I would never discourage the former president from testifying because quite honestly, our plan up until now was to have him testify. He always wanted to testify, and he should testify. When he has nothing to hide, it's the best thing you could do is put this great witness on that is going to stand up and tell you the truth. But the judge in this matter this week, we asked him to lift the gag order so that he could testify fully and completely. If he sees people whispering and creating a ruckus next to him, and he has a right to address that so that the record is complete, and so do his lawyers. That was why we said, this is not fair, this is rigged, this is a banana republic. Don't give them the energy of you coming in the room. Now, he already has taken the stand on this case. He took the stand on the case in the AG's case. Now we want him on our case. But I would say, and I still say, that having any client get on a stand with a gag order as limited or large as this is a First Amendment violation, and you should not respect the court and give them the opportunity to hear you. But he is going to take the stand regardless, and he will navigate it.
So,
did anyone understand what she just said there? Listen, Martha, he's going to take the stand, and he's going to navigate it perfectly. And also, he's not showing up and taking the stand, okay? He's gagged. He shouldn't be gagged. It's a violation of his First Amendment. No, it's not. And even though he's gagged, he is going to show up and navigate it perfectly. She said both in that one clip. Also, we're a banana republic. I honestly didn't follow what she was saying there. And then something about people whispering. I caught that. And that might be in relation to this, as Midas Touch also referenced in the article I previously read from. It's unclear how Donald Trump not being allowed to threaten the judge's principal law clerk would affect his testimony about his company's alleged fraud schemes, which seemed to be what she was saying in relation to the whispering and the gag order. Trump's not allowed to go after and target the staff of the judge, and he had been doing that a bunch with the clerk. And of course, no, gag orders are not a violation of the First Amendment. And while Trump is dealing with the civil fraud trial, his former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, is dealing with legal troubles of his own. Take a look at this.
Jury selection begins today in the defamation case against former Trump attorney and friend Rudy Giuliani.
A federal judge has already found the former New York City mayor liable for defaming 2 Georgia election workers after the 2020 election. So this trial that begins today is to determine how much he'll have to pay those workers.
Let's go out to Washington with national political correspondent Abba Burnett. Abba, what more do you have for us?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Well, Rudy Giuliani, he failed to turn over necessary documents in this defamation case. So in August, a judge in this courthouse behind me ordered him to pay tens of thousands of dollars for the attorney fees for those 2 Georgia election workers. And then today, a jury will be selected to figure out just how much in damages he will have to pay them as well.
Rudy Giuliani, a man with a 5-decade history as an attorney, is now fighting legal battles of his own. In August, the federal judge ruled that Giuliani is liable for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress after he falsely accused Georgia election workers Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss of election fraud while pushing Donald Trump's unproven claims about the 2020 election.
It's a tape earlier in the day of Ruby Freeman and Shay Freeman Moss and one other gentleman quite obviously surreptitiously passing around USB ports as if they're vials of heroin or cocaine. I mean, it's obvious to anyone who's a criminal investigator or prosecutor, they are engaged in surreptitious illegal activity.
According to court documents, Giuliani's months-long effort to smear Freeman and Moss's reputation resulted in violent and racist threats. The mother and daughter have spoken publicly of their ordeal.
Now I won't even introduce myself by my name anymore. I get nervous when I bump into someone I know in the grocery store who says my name. I'm worried about who's listening.
So this is a case we've talked a good bit about. These 2 election workers, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, were just participating in our democratic process, giving their time and energy to help the day-to-day operations of democracy function. And then they randomly became the center of these right-wing conspiracy theories and have been threatened, had to move, just all sorts of hindrances to their life because people like Rudy Giuliani, Trump, and others decided to lie about them. And one of the, as you saw noted in that video, absurd parts of the theory was Ruby Freeman handed a flash drive to Shay Moss, and that was being used to do fraud or something. Then in reality, it was a mint. So the jury selection is underway on that case. They'll be deciding just on how much Giuliani will have to pay. He already lost. Then they're deciding on damages. And I will say often accountability takes a while to play out. But with Trump's criminal trials, civil litigation like this, Giuliani, of course, also indicted in the Georgia Trump case, hopefully we will see the proper level of accountability eventually for the all-out assault on our democracy. Before we go, don't forget to become a member at lukebeasley.com/membership to get the daily bonus show Monday through Friday. Plus follow me on Threads at Luke Beasley Official, Instagram at Luke Beasley Official, X at Luke P. Beasley. Sign up for the Beasley Brief, a daily morning newsletter that summarizes the previous day's events by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/brief and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll talk to you all next time.